Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we talk about everything from tech to films and all the fun stuff in between. And guys, we have our very first sponsor on the channel. Thanks to PDF Element for sponsoring this video. So guys, there are so many reviews out there for the iPad Air 4. Impressions, 1 week reviews, 2 week reviews. And I was thinking this through to see how I could make mine different. How I could say something which hasn't already been said about this device and still convey the message about what kind of a powerhouse the iPad Air 4 truly is. Then I looked at the devices in my hand and thought I would not touch my iPad Pro for a full month and just use the iPad Air 4 and see if I would miss my Pro. As the iPad Pro is my go-to device and the most favorite iPad that I have ever owned. I use it extensively for social media. I edit 4K videos on that, do photo editing, I write all my scripts on it, and even watch Netflix and chill. So I thought I'll use the iPad Air 4 exclusively as my main iPad and see if I'll really miss using my most favorite iPad Pro. See, I was always an iPad person right from that very first one. It was the perfect device for me, and I do remember the times when the iPad changed things drastically, offering that bit more, that bit extra. First, it was with the iPad 2, which I still have it with me. It did something different by adding cameras and opened up the whole world of video chat. I know this is not the first device to do so, even back then, but still that amazing integration with the hardware and software made it super convenient. All of a sudden, parents started attending our virtual birthday parties and communication was becoming more personal. The distance between the 7 seas became less relevant, and people living abroad or away from home will know the true value of FaceTime. And then the next iPad to offer that bit extra was the original iPad Air, which again I have it here. Shaving nearly half the weight pushed this into a different league altogether. It was so much easier to use this device in hands, and the Air's thinness made it truly revolutionary rather than just being evolutionary. And then came the time of the Pro. The iPad no longer was that device which you just watch videos or movies and read emails whilst you're on the potty. The iPad became a true powerhouse, and you can actually replace your laptop with this, provided you carefully tread around that ever-expanding iPad OS boundaries. And that's where the iPad Air 4 comes in, proving that to get those Pro features, you do not have to go all the way to the top tier. The middle is going to be perfectly Pro enough this time. Starting with that all-screen display, which no wonder looks something out of a sci-fi film. Just this thin slab of metal and glass offering colors which satisfy not just your eyes but also your senses. That fluid touchscreen making it just a breeze to navigate the device, and the perfect size which can fit into every nook and corner of your daily requirement. Not too big, not too small, but just right. And this ticks all the boxes for the iPad Air 4 being a perfect media consumption device belonging to the next decade. The iPad Air does satisfy your daily social and leisure needs with ease of use and a wealth of vast app ecosystem. For everything you do as soon as you connect online, the iPad Air covers you and then some. Movies can be personal, with the screen giving you some amazing and vibrant colors. Videos can be communal with its decent internal stereo speakers, and the all-day battery will just keep you going even until the wee hours of the night. And when you eventually run out of juice, then they include a 20-watt fast charger now makes it just a 2 to 3 hour plugged in thing instead of it being plugged in for the entire night. And the next league of users who want to be productive with their iPad, who want to push the boundaries, who want to just create, then the A14 bionic processor under the hood makes sure that you have enough power than that magic sword from Castle Grayskull. Seriously, it broke benchmarks and geek scores, but usually numbers are one thing and the real world usage is another. But in this case, they both add up. There is currently nothing you throw at the iPad which makes it hang or crash or even lag a bit. My Core i7 laptop does it, but not the Air. I have yet to encounter a single app that crashed on the iPad Air 4. Jump onto LumaFusion for a lengthy session of 4K video editing, or get into Lightroom so that you can add that right amount of tint to your favorite picture, or use Keynote for number crunching, or dive into the amazing templates of Pages for that perfect presentation. There is no lack of power or efficiency when you churn through all these tasks. The iPad has come a long way from that device which Steve Jobs wanted so he could check his email from the toilet seat. The iPad has become a true powerhouse, and there is so much you could do with it now. Which brings me to the sponsor of our video, PDF Element by Wondershare. We all deal with PDF files in one way or the other in our lives, and more than often we wanted the ability to edit them directly without having to print them out, fill them in, and then scan them back. This is where PDF Element comes in. The simple but truly useful software allows you to import PDF files and edit them as if you were working on a Word document. You can edit forms and type on them without changing or ruining the layout, and complete them by adding your signature. You can export PDF files into Word documents or PowerPoint presentations, eliminating the need of manually recreating them. And with the OCR feature, PDF Element makes it super easy to edit scanned documents, which is an added advantage. All this, along with several other useful features like team collaboration, password protection, and encryption, are offered for a super affordable price. And PDF Element is available on all platforms: Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. No matter what platform you work on, PDF Element has got you covered. The iOS version of PDF Element also adds Apple Pencil support along with dark mode support. PDF Element is free to try, guys. All the relevant links are in the description box below, so please do check it out. Back to our review video. The next is another league of exciting users, gamers, and with them comes the need for graphical power and higher refresh rates. Honestly, everything works so smoothly here that the lack of that 120Hz refresh rate does not cause huge damage to your gaming experience. And with console-grade games making their way to the iPad, you can happily sit back, relax, and game on to your heart's content. And then when it comes to integrating with various useful add-ons in your life, the iPad Air has got you covered there as well. From amazingly integrated stylus which aids productivity to cool keyboard dock that makes your iPad float. Well, almost. And to plugging in additional storage devices or wireless printing or NFC file transfer. The iPad Air 4 tries its best to tick all those boxes. And then in today's dreadful world of virtual classrooms, online meetings, and distant cosplay parties, the cameras on this device do a decent job to portray your image without them being grainy or fuzzy. And finally, if you're worried about security, then the iPad Air 4 offers Apple's amazing Touch ID, implemented in the power button, which is for the first time, but it works perfectly fine. I tried my best to see if it fails, but every time it simply worked, despite it being on a smaller surface compared to the previous home button Touch ID implementations. So everything was just pleasant experience with the iPad Air 4, and the way it softly blends into your lifestyle is simply amazing. And to answer the question whether I missed my iPad Pro, well, actually no. Even I thought I would miss that 120Hz promotion screen, but honestly, the way iPad OS smoothly optimizes the user experience, 120Hz refresh rate doesn't seem like an absolute requirement. But if I have to pick out a few negatives to keep this review fair, then I would say the price increase, that too coming to us at the worst possible time in the history of our existence. The iPad Air was reintroduced in 2019 to be that perfect middle child, which sat in the Goldilocks zone of being not too expensive or not too cheap, but still giving you the best features for your money. But now, the price increase has slightly pushed it away from that Goldilocks zone towards the pro pricing zone. Next is that 64GB of base storage. On my Pro, the 128GB felt more comfortable as I didn't need to be cautious on what I was installing on it. 64GB in 2020 is just okay, and there is no option to pay like 50 or 60 bucks more and opt in for the 128GB, as the only other option is 256GB, which skyrockets the price to $750. And then the speakers on the Pro sounded a bit better, just a tiny bit. I use them quite a lot, so I noticed the difference. But apart from this, everything else is simply amazing on the iPad Air 4. It's got everything that you need on a tablet belonging to the next decade and has got enough power to last you for years to come. And it is my tablet of choice for 2020. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you liked my review and stayed until the end. And if you actually stayed until the end, then comment down below the phrase Air Forever, and I will definitely heart that comment and reply to you guys. So that's it, guys. Again, if you liked my video, smash that like button, and if you liked it furthermore, then a subscribe would be amazing. The Amazon gift cards giveaway is still going on my channel, guys. Rules on how to enter are just below, so please check them out. And as always, thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.